Welcome to Talking Plant Protein. I'm Nicole Astra.
And I'm Joey Thurman. Nicole, how come you have coffee and I don't?
Well, you probably just didn't bring it to set. You probably had a cup or two today.
I did.
Sometimes it's water in here, I mean, to be honest, but no, for me it's the hot cup. I like to keep my hands warm.
You like a hot cup?
I like a hot cup.
All right, here we go.
EverGrain is a company based in Missouri that seeks to unleash the full potential of barley, pulling protein and fiber from spent, or what they like to say, saved grains to create nutrient-rich ingredients. Now they're making headlines as one of the first global plant-based protein suppliers to receive the Upcycled Food Association's certification. This allows any manufacturers using their ingredients to display that UFA logo on their packaging, making big moves for sustainability. UFA founder and CEO Turner Wyatt said this of the certification. The products and ingredients that have gone through this certification thus far span food, cosmetics, personal care, and pet food, and are created by both small startups and global legacy brands. This represents a major shift in our consumer product and retail environments because for the first time, consumers can help prevent food waste every time they walk into the grocery store. I love that. We report on food waste a lot, and again, those certification labels really help consumers make informed choices. We're going in the right direction.
I like being informed.
That's right.
There are a lot of key players in the whole cut race. We have featured several through interviews on our website. A whole cut that mimics the muscle and fat structure of an animal-based steak is something consumers are asking for. Well, Slovenian food tech company Juicy Marbles claims to not only have created that plant-based substitute, but also made it better than the actual by improving features such as flavor longevity, juiciness retention, that's fun to say, and last week their product became the first commercially sold plant-based Filet Mignon. As they launched on their website last week, Filet Mignon, plant-based Filet Mignon.
It's a little crazy.
It's a little crazy. We asked Juicy Marbles co-founder and CBO Vladimir Mikovic how he was feeling about their launch. His response was, and I quote, "Here goes nothing."
I love that. I love that when the producer came back with that was his quote. But that's just it. Everybody's kind of going after that center of the plate. And as technology advances, they can make whole cut products.
Juiciness, retention
factor?
factor?
And I don't want to alienate anyone in our audience. You know, we are not snooty vegans here. You can eat what you want. We just want you to eat less meat. You've heard me say that a lot, but I don't know how I would feel cutting into what looks like a juicy fillet. I haven't had a piece of steak in
I would feel great about it. And just I want a t-shirt that says juiciness retention factor.
All right, hey.
On with the show.
Yes, TPP merch coming soon. Calling all breakfast lovers, according to recent headlines, it looks like plant-based bacon may be getting ready for a glow-up. In an interview with the Food Institute, Bloomberg Intelligence senior analyst Jennifer Bartashew claimed that this might just have something to do with innovations in plant-based burgers and sausages, where fat integration plays a huge part in taste and mouthfeel. Another major factor in plant-based bacon's increasing popularity is health-based concerns. The average consumer nowadays is becoming more and more concerned with clean labels, and most plant-based bacon products offer benefits like lower sodium and lower fat.
Bacon.
Everybody who gives up meat says they miss bacon the most.
I'll eat bacon whether it's plant-based or animal-based.
I do some plant-based bacon.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I actually just asked my kids if they were willing to try the plant-based, well, it's banana peel and you know, different spices and things that's supposed to really mimic bacon. And they were like, "Ma, when you picture garbage, you picture banana peels."
Really?
Like, hey, upcycling, less food waste.
I picture banana peels on the ground and somebody stepping on them. But they're not actually that slippery.
Hey, stay tuned. I'll post a recipe if it works.
Here we go. Well, speaking of alternative proteins, Australian company 8 Days Foods just finished raising $1 million in seed funding for its lupin-based protein, Lupreme, hitting their goal in just 2 days. Lupreme has already gained recognition from celebrity chef Scott Findlay and won the Best Plant-Based Protein category at the World Plant-Based Awards in New York last year.
I was first introduced to the lupin bean when Jazzy Lupini was on. She makes a pasta out of the lupin bean.
My mother-in-law makes some delicious lupini beans and like a red sauce, and I also got this like packet of like a yellow lupini beans, and they're garlic and different flavors. I throw them in a skillet and I put them on my belly.
That's right. Yeah. In the belly they go, but major health benefits from lupin bean for sure. PURIS CEO Nicole Atchison was recently on the show to talk about the changing landscape of the plant-based industry and their work with seeds. A lot happens at the seed level of crops to yield better characteristics, and we asked her to shed some light on this process that often leaves consumers with questions. Let's take a look.
one of the foundational elements of PURIS has been our roots in the development of seeds. And in today's environment, there's a lot of public, questions and concerns around, well, what does it mean to, what kind of seeds and agriculture is plant-based food using? There's people on one side that say all plant-based food is GMO and it's destructive and it's destroying the soil, and the animal agriculture is the only way. And then there's another group that says that plant-based is, perfect in every way. In actuality, neither is true. But for PURIS, our philosophy has been that people deserve a choice in the food that they eat, and they should be able to choose how that food was made. And for the last 30 years, we have been developing seeds using conventional breeding techniques. This means really taking two different varieties and mating them together, so traditional breeding. And through time and testing, we're able to find varieties that have special characteristics. And this could be protein content, it could be color or flavor. And in plant-based food, flavor means very little flavor. It could also be the adaptability of these plants to different geographies, enabling these kind of climate-friendly crops to be grown in different areas. But all of these things kind of converge into plants that have better characteristics than if the varieties had just been left to adapt by themselves over time. And so this has been our methodology, and we developed these kind of proprietary seeds in peas, soybeans, and corn, all non-GMO, but focused on a lot of the same outcomes that you hear from some of the more technology-driven or GMO industry crops. There's also a lot of talk about gene editing and GMO and molecular breeding. And I think all of these have a different method and a lot of the same outcomes. And it comes down to the consumer and what they are or are not comfortable with. And in general, the adaptation of crops to be able to withstand chemical treatment has led to some different practices on farm, but ultimately has led to increasing the amount of chemicals applied to our crops. And for PURIS, we think that there's a better way. Nature is incredibly resilient, incredibly smart, and able to create things that we can only imagine. And if we can harness the power of nature in ways to enable the outcomes we're looking for, we think that that's the best way to do it. And so that's why we've leaned into traditional breeding and are excited that we've had some breakthroughs in crops that really have enabled our system of creating kind of world-class ingredients that are the foundation of some of the best plant-based food products on the market. And so we continue to double down and invest and find ways to help both our farmer partners as well as our food manufacturers.
I think it's great that all these companies are taking what consumers want. They want to know what's in their foods and whether it's GMO or not or anything that's in there.
Yeah, being very transparent about it and making those changes right down at the seed level. So the crop is that ingredient that could be the most nutritious product that it can be.
Most nutritious and delicious. Thanks for joining us for Talking Plant Protein. I'm Joey Thurman.
And I'm Nicole Astor. Thanks for watching.